Good morning. Welcome to our Life Peak TV show, Jukwaa la Siasa. Today, we are privileged to have one of the visitors whom is going to aid us with some of the skills of leadership and governance as far as Rongo University is concerned. So let me welcome him. He introduce himself as we move on.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Richard Ochieng. I come from School of Education, and that is the largest school ever seen in this Rongo University. And I'm very proud to be in that school because we are there as comrades, and we survive as Rongo University at large. And this, as help us embrace the comradeship among us. So, just as the way I say that I'm Richard Ochieng, I'm an aspirant in that school. I'm going to vie for the General Rep School of Education, which is like the chair of that school. So you understand it's very better that you, being a chair, you must lead very many people. And to point of introduction, I think I can post to that point so that we can continue from that point.
Thank you. Yeah. Now, Mr. Ochieng.
Yeah.
What's the approximate number of students whom you aspire to lead in the School of Education?
Okay, so according to the approximate number of the students I inspire to lead in that school, it is a little bit bigger number that actually, when you want to give a comparison of different people at different perspective of the schools, comparing the EDS plus the EDA group plus the SME, they all belongs to this school. So if I can start with the EDA group, which is I can give approximation, like the second years by now, the current second years, we are about 926 students. That is EDA, those who are taking education arts only. When I compare to the SNE group, they are around 126 students across to science too, across both of those who are taking combination of sciences and EDA combination, but under SNE. The same approximation to the total number of the students in that school, maybe if I can speak on the second year, there are over 1,500 students. This takes me back to first years. First years are the same number and entirely through the school. For example, they are about around 1,800 students. Then I move back to third years. Third years are around also 800 plus. Approximation same to for theirs. For theirs are also around something to do with 1,000. So if you see this number is a little bit large number, that can sum up to around 6,000 students. So if you want to lead this big number, what can entails you with that act of quality of leading such a crowd and such big number of comrades within the campus? So I think this one can be a very better solution for us to find a way, me as a leader now, I'm aspiring to find a way that I can cater for all these people in this school. Yeah, Mr.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Okay, all right. So you have said you have how many departments we have there in the School of Education?
Actually, in the School of Education, we have 3 departments.
Yes.
Yeah, we have the 3 departments. Like the current constitution they wanted to pass through the school, it wanted to entail several departments. According to the constitution they talked about the other time, which is not yet approved, it was taken back to Congress. That it was brought to the Senate, but Senate took it back to the Congress. According to that, we are going to have several departments according to the combination and the groups. But as per now, as the current as we speak, we are not very sure that we are going to use the 3 departments that we have right away by now, or they will add up the number that the way they suggested to the Senate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's this issue that I had about increasing the number of aspirants or student leaders from 27 to 45. What are the side effects, or what do they want to inquire or entail?
According to the school administration, if you would intend to be a good leader,
yeah,
sometimes there are some things that are above you. By the time they come up with the idea, they know the importance of the increasing the number of delegates. For example, if you can grow, maybe you can travel at just a bit distance from this place to Maseno, they have around 47 number of delegates.
Yeah.
And here in Norway, where our number was still a little bit down. But according to the constitution they are pushing us through, it will take time. I don't know. I don't think it will because constitution has processes. Once it was taken to the Senate, then sent back to the Congress, it means it was not passed. It was not passed. It was taken back to review. Review. Yeah.
Okay. And again, it's now back to you. It's personal level. What motivated you to run for the place of general representative in your school?
Okay, that's a very nice question, Mister. And I'm very glad to be one of you. You are asking such kind of question. I'm ready to answer you directly without even making any corner of conversation. What inspired me to go for this post? If you look at the previous politics that have been in this school, the very last politics, I was vying for academic rep. And due to 1, 2, 3 things, I never intended to reach the ballot. So by now, I decided that through the aspiration and motivation that I had from the beginning when I joined year 1.1, I would like to have my endeavors to another level so that at least I can serve Congress the way I've been having the aspiration. It was just a personal driven aspiration. Yeah.
It's a good response indeed, and I can see we are moving on well. And again, there's these questions that many Congolans are complaining. For instance, in your school, you have been adding more students, more senior place of general representative. Eh? What does this make you unique to run for that place?
Okay, so what makes me unique to run for that place is that is now we want to talk about the dynamics of the strategy that somebody had towards the aspiration. Yeah, so according to the dynamic of strategies, I can just say that I've seen how students are passing through a lot of challenges. For instance, a student has fell sick somewhere. You know, if you are talking about the student, general rep, it deals with the student welfare and the student well-being within the university. But for you to be a good leader, to serve your people accordingly, in accordance to their interests, you must be there for them at a point of need. That comes to my realization that even by now, we have several cases of death. We lost our 2 students the other time in a road accident. If you are a very good leader, I will organize on how we can support the family of the 2 students. And that is what entails the students' welfare within the university. At the same time, I will try as much as possible to enhance their courtesy through their health status. When somebody can be very sick, I can quickly make a quick call to maybe an immediate call to the clinic so that they can be rushed to, because we have an ambulance within the school. Somebody can fall sick within the hostels. Somebody can fall sick even within the class, and any place they will be catered for and they will be attended to. And each and every person will feel that I'm among the groups of Rongo University Students Association and Welfare. Yeah.
Yes, good response. And I can see you have some good leadership skills in you. So, and again, there's this issue of missing marks. Somebody maybe increment of fees. How do you go about it?
Okay, you know, if you talk of missing marks, sometimes we as students, we cause ourselves to have the missing marks. And being that the problem has been there and still there, you know, if you want to claim that you can do everything, you want to be convincing. You can't go to a third year, for there, you want to tell him that I will help you do this and this. These people have stayed in this school for the last 4 years. Like a fourth year, he has been here for the last 4 years. So the only thing you can help, like for instance, in fourth year and third year, there are people that they understand what is within the ground. They have been given promises. They have been given promises that I will help you this and this, but at long run, you will find that you are not good more than those people who have served in that the same seat. So the only thing I can ask from third years and fourth years is just their vote. And if any case there is a problem emerges, I can react as quick as possible to come up with the problem. For instance, the act of fee policy within the school. Fee policy is being created out like it is being passed through a constitution. There is no single fee that can be added through students' portal or any other person minus the president of the school's consent. So I think from that point, there the reaction within the fee increment and the fee policy and everything, that one should be catered for with the school administration. Sir, yeah.
So it's all about the school administration plus the president.
No, I'm also being that I'm a leader, I must react through when there is a fee increment. That is where I will help comrades to feel that they are at least they are catered for, because many a times we witness that fee increment is always there, but with some at point you find that there fee increment with a genuine reason according to the respondents of the criteria that has been created in place. But due to the issues of fee policy, we'll have to agree and at least come on board with the other student leaders, not even me alone, because this thing affects the whole school. The whole school. So if I say that I will try to carve it out, we'll have a meeting of all the student leaders, all the senate, and maybe any other relevant person. Then we discuss it as a team. Then we come up with an idea on how we can help our fellow comrades. Yeah.
Right. I can see you are smart upstairs. And again, now how do you plan to address students' concerns and ensure their phrases are heard?
Okay, how I'm planning to address the students' concern is through lying with the side by side by the administration, because there are some of the things that I might not be knowing, but with them they know. They will tell me that Mr. Odemo Richard, this is where we want you to help us, and comrades also have their end that they want to be served through the executive post, through the Congress post, through the other post. And if you want to serve the interest of comrades, you must be ready for anything that they will brought towards you and address it directly to the relevant authorities. Yeah.
Okay, we have third years. Third years, I can see a good percentage. That's almost 70%. They are complaining that they are not ready to vote because the leaders that they elected in the past, last academic year, they have done nothing. They are complaining that these leaders, they have gone for their personal interest and gain. So how are you going to convince these third years to trust you and give you their vote?
Okay, according to the third years, and maybe fourth years if I can add, these people have been in this school for the last 3 years and 4 years. There is nothing they have not ever seen in this Rongo University area fraternity. If the things dealing with the maybe eating around Skumawiki, they have eaten it a lot. If they have run ups and down with landlords, they have run ups and down with caretakers. So there are people who have suffered, and at least me as a person, I can convince them that I can be very loyal to students. Loyalty is the key for each and every leader. But if you are not loyal to your people, it means you cannot stand a chance even to interview them or tell them something that they can hear. But according to the complaints, actually I want to promise you that third years, I can easily convince them that I'll be there for them in case there is a need that pops in, because in this Rongo fraternity, there has been very many cases that even if the problem emerges, it emerges in a simultaneous way. It won't emerge as once that there is a problem has emerged somewhere and another one has emerged somewhere, but it comes simultaneously. So if there is a problem, I will always stand with my fourth years and third years and any other relevant student that feel that he should be catered for. Yeah, mister.
All right. So having identified your responsibilities, your duties, So have you identified a section or group of students whom you intend to vote for you at large numbers?
Okay, so in terms of identification, actually, I can say that we are somehow distance, and we are at a point from the point of view of, if you can be, that is the reason why once we had this issue of the Europeans coming to Kenya, they set a certain place known as the Vasco da Gama Pillar. That is in Mali coast, at the coast,
Yeah,
if I'm very right.
you're right.
So they add some of the instances like the strategy. They build their watchtower. If you are a good politician, you will have your own watchtower, and where you can stand your point of view. Then you look back to your people. So they built, I think they built that thing for the security purpose. But this of mine, I built my own tower to see on the welfare of the comrades and how they are faring on. Mr. Back to you.
Yeah. So you have seen that you have identified it. Huh?
Yeah.
You know that if I go to this route or this class, particular class, maybe this maybe is a hostel, you consider these guys so they can trust you.
Actually, they will trust me 100%. Let me give you the surety, because they have been around for that a short period of time. I've been around with them. I'm trying to deliver. If you are a good leader, you should be delivering, and you deliver according to the comrade's interest. You don't deliver according to your own interest. So once you serve the comrade's interest, and that is the reason why we always talk of the comrade's wisdom. Comrades has their own wisdom. That is the reason why we always say that comrade power is the next powerful power after God's power. So we have comrade wisdom. So I'm very sure that I will convince these my people. I will bring them on board, and we come to an agreement, sir. Yeah.
So you are very sure that you are going to win this seat.
Actually, let me just to clarify something out. In politics, if I'm not wrong, in politics there is nothing like number two. And if you are number two, it means you are a failure. So, in point of surety, I want to assure you that we will win as early as possible. If the election will end at exactly noon, by 1:30, we are already out. We are celebrating.
So we'll be leading.
Actually, that is the truth. You can't be a politician and they want to say to you, you'll be number two. Whom will you lead? Whom will you lead?
Yeah, I can see you are the best. Huh? Now again, what leadership experience do you have, and how does it prepare you for this job?
Okay, so if you talk of the leadership experience, let me take you back to just a very short history back when I joined year 1.1. When I joined here back in 2023, I was ushered in by different student leaders within the institution. So by that time, we were taken, after 1 week, we were taken to MPH, that is the multipurpose hall.
Yes.
And we were there to choose the student leaders, which is those are just the class reps. And I was very privileged to be among the 6 candidates we stood with. We wanted the same post, and each and every person convinced the people within the MPH. The whole lot of that year were within that MPH. With us as class rep, we were not just chosen like, you want to be a class rep, can you just fit there? No, we campaigned within a short period of time, and we convinced people. So if you talk of leadership experience, I've been serving as a class rep of English literature students, that is second years, and as well as I'm the general rep, general rep, second year education. So I've been trying to come up with their problems. At the same time, I've been organizing for them the common units. Common units is a unit whereby you will find over 1,000 students are attending the same class. But you had to organize and talk to them day in, day out, so that at least you can gain their trust as their leader. They can trust you with their problems. Yeah, so that is according to my leadership experience.
Yeah. So you have been a leader since first year.
Actually, I've been a leader since first year, since I joined this school.
Yeah.
I've been a class rep, and as well as I've been a general rep for the second years, organizing for them the common units, as well as I'm organizing the classes for the English literature class. So I've been serving 2 masters at a time. That entails me a lot of experience on how to lead comrades.
So that means that you have made some achievements in that position that you're given.
Actually, many achievements have been, I think I can talk of very many achievements. Because if I can just give you just a tip, at some points we find that comrades are, like the other time we had some of us who are very sick. We attend a certain lecture like in the block D, W309. We had a lecture there. But unfortunately, one of us tend to have felt very sick. I coordinated with the administration as fast as possible, and the ambulance was sent. It was taken to the clinic. That is one of the achievements. As the same incident happens when we were in MPH. Sometimes we need to react very fast as leaders, because one of us fainted when we were there attending the lecture in MPH due to maybe somebody had fallen sick and he had struggled to come to class. I did the same. I called the ambulance. It was taken to the clinic. At least he felt that I have been catered for. On the same note, I can tell you that achievements, if I can talk of the second achievement, comrades has very many problems. Like, for example, in my class of English literature, we have been having the issues of missing mark. I liaise with the lecturer at least to help a comrade get his or her marks. So that is how we have been moving. At the same time, somebody can come with a genuine problem to you that, Richard, this is what I want you to help me with. And I've been passing through this. At times you find comrades, we do always, sometimes we go, maybe you can have nothing within the house. You're like, you don't have money. You can just approach somebody and tell them, Kiongozi, today I'm not feeling that well conversant with maybe attending to somebody because I have nothing in my house to eat. As a good leader, you will feel it that this person needs my courtesy. You will help with the person with even 50 bob, go and control something to eat. Yeah. So those are some of the challenges students are passing through. Sometimes it can happen a case whereby somebody has not paid the rent. That's still student welfare. Somebody has not paid rent anywhere, somewhere. As a good leader, you should be very free to host the person as he looks for something to cater for his rent or her rent. Don't be very greedy that your house nobody can enter. No, me, if you can see, I can take you to my place. You will be very surprised. Very many students are coming inside there, and nobody have been chased away. We are there. We are making stories. We cover up our problems. We chat. At the end of the day, we embrace the act of comradeship. Yeah.
So this means that you are catering for their stomach.
At least you must cater for your you can't eat and your neighbor has nothing to eat.
Yeah.
You should be somebody who's caring. Yeah. As a good leader, you should be somebody who's caring about even your co-partners and maybe the people where you are close to. Maybe even not even the people you are close to, but being that somebody is a comrade, he has a genuine problem. Yeah.
Right. So, what are some of the strategies that you have identified or you are intending to use in your campaigns?
Okay, so if you talk of the strategies, actually I can enhance you with some of the three. We have one of them. We can talk of the advocacy. If you are advocating for comrades, you should be ready at any time they need your attention. So I will be always advocating for their problems. Then we want to curb out this act of tribalism, this act of social dynamics, and we bring this act of unity among us. Like, for example, we can be very, university is universal. And being that university is universal, it can has that act of universality among us as students. So that is what I'm trying to bring onto board. Then unity matters a lot because if you see this act of tribalism among us, it makes some of us elect very leaders who are just there for their own interest due to this act of tribalism. But if the act of tribalism would have not been there, they will find themselves, they have elected the right leader to lead them in the right direction. Yeah, so I'll try as much as possible to embrace unity among the university, to as well as to advocate for tribalists, as well as I'll be trying my as much as possible to be selfless, determined, and also be at comrade interest. Yeah.
So again, how do you go with this? There's this idea that the university is trying to make up with the constitutional amendment concerning the government, that he or she should be elected by the delegates. How do you about it?
You know, there are some of the questions which are very nice to be answered. There are sometimes if you talk of delegate elections, you made me sometimes to refer back to the AU election that happened the other day. And if you witness the situation, you will be very happy at a point and you mourn. You see. So if you talk of the governor and how the seats will be taken to place maybe to the executive post, I think that is according to the idea of the constitution. Once you come up with an idea of we live in a world where we embrace democracy. And through democracy, I think the AU during the election of the chair, they did the democracy very well. Everybody see that this is a very democratic world. So if they come up with such idea, I can say that idea is good, but at a point we need to have somebody who can curb the whole interest of the whole comrades at large. But I can't maybe at a point I can't go against the administration at the same time, because nobody is above the law of the school. Even me, I'm not above the law. Nobody is above the law, above the constitution, which has been amended and put in place by the school. Yeah.
So yesterday, as I was on my route, interacted with one of the student leaders, and he had told us concerning that issue of the governor being elected by delegates, that the school wants to reduce the amount which is spending, making the materials that used for voting. So I can see each and every student is paying that's 300 for RUSA subscription. Do you have that idea?
I have the idea, actually. Yeah. So if you talk of reducing the cost, actually, even if the person has been elected at the executive post as the governor, still the school will spend. The school will spend the way they have been spending. So we can't just lie to each other that they want to reduce the amount. The money is still there and they will still use the. Do you want to say those who are in the executive, they don't use money?
They spend a lot of money.
They spend a lot of money. It means maybe the cost might be increasing. Yeah.
So they want to spend that money wherever they misuse it on that way.
No, I don't think they want to misuse the money, because even those who are the executive post, they have been cut out using the same money. So it means even if the governor has been elected at the executive post, the same money will be used. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Richard. So, concerning today's show, it has been an interactive, very interesting. So actually, I would like to thank you. And whenever I will go upon, just respond.
Actually, I will respond with immediate effect. And actually, I like the show. Even as per we have been conducting the show, I want to leave the Rongo University comrades with one. That once you've been a comrade in this school, I've been a comrade in this school, we serve under one power. That is comrade power, as well as comrade Viva. And the comrade Viva is the second largest power, the second powerful power after God's power. So this is the time that we should have our eyes at the right leaders. Let us not go with the projects. There are some of us, maybe you can come to politics, they are projects of other people. they have been pushed to politics so that they can serve their other people's interests. So let us choose the right leaders to lead us, but not the projects. Yeah.
All right. To our viewers, what I'd like to encourage you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to our LifePeak TV channel. But also this show, which is Jukwaa la Siasa. I have been your host, Kevin Moguche, together with
Odhiambo Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the General Rep, School of Education.
Thank you. See you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.